How are you today, my dear gardening friends? Today, in this video, we are going to celebrate your gardens. Gardens, I must say, not winter gardens, gardens in spring and gardens in summer. Right now is weather is so cold outside, and looking at the memories of the past year can be quite refreshing and full of joy. So I truly believe that our gardens are gifts where we can rejuvenate ourselves and heal. And God didn't give humans gardens under the condition then that you have to have garden of 1 acre size, otherwise you cannot enjoy it. Something as little as a house plant can be quite interesting to look and study little details. You know, the closer you look, the bigger of the world is there. So today we are celebrating your gardens. And the first garden is the garden of Adeline, a lady who is 19 years old. She started her garden 4 years ago, and let's indulge in her photographs and videos. Adeline gardens in Zone 6, and I must say that her property is beautiful. She has beautiful views and serene environment. And she has big plants. Just look at this beautiful picture. It's a view from behind her wonderful flower bed on her lawn. I can see that at the back there is a row of, looks like arborvitaes. Can be something different, but just look how hazy and beautiful that morning is. So Adeline is telling us that she started her garden 4 years ago, and when she was just 15, very unusual hobby for young people, and I really appreciate it because I can see that Adeline is probably going to have gardens as her hobby, or maybe even as her career for the rest of her life. So she started 4 years ago with just 2 hydrangeas and 4 roses. Well, several roses didn't survive through the winter, which is okay. Zone 6 is cold, and some roses are not equipped to withstand cold weather. But it didn't discourage Adeline, and look at this beautiful, dreamy photograph of a rose. I do love walls, and I don't have any solid walls in my garden. So when I see those beautiful shows coming from England, where they have brick walls surrounding the gardens and roses are climbing on those walls, I love it. And I'm dreaming maybe some year I will have this enclosed secret garden where you can go for this evening walk, and there would be a lot of flowers filling air with perfume, and that garden would be protected by, let's say, a brick wall. But of course, it's a dream. But here on this photograph, you can see Rose just resting on the concrete wall. Looks very lovely. 2020 was a big year for Adeline. She found her green thumb. Surprisingly, I think a lot of people during the COVID time went full-time gardening and found their passion for gardens. So the same happened to Adeline. The garden was doubled in size. She dug up the sod and brought in manure and wood chips. And in 2021, Russian sage was added, and lavender and other great rose companions. So we have 2022 Olivia roses coming, Roald Dahl and Emily Bronte. And her garden keeps growing. She keeps adding to her rose collection. And here's Olivia Rose. I do have Olivia Rose in my garden. It's going to be her 2nd year. And I know that 1st year roses sleep, 2nd year they kind of start acting, and then the 3rd year they really perform their almost mature size. So 2nd year for my Olivia probably wouldn't be the greatest, but my Olivias performed so well during their 1st year that I'm expecting great performance from her. So this is a garden from Adeline. Thank you, Adeline, for sharing with us. Now, the 2nd garden we are going to go to would be the garden of Cami. And Cami says that she gardens on a slope. She has some vegetable beds, and she's the one who generously shared her Katrina rose with me. And there would be coming up the picture of her Katrina. Correct me, Cam, if it's not Katrina, but it does look like Katrina, and it is spectacular. So let's go and look at her photographs. Cami says that she and her husband constructed all the structures in the garden, and you can see it's well done job. And the last picture is a picture of, I believe it's water for birds, or maybe it's a water fountain, I'm not sure, surrounded by beautiful perennials, looking very lovely. When I sit in there and look at my garden outside when the weather is cold, all that beautiful lush grows. Looks like unbelievable, honestly. We kind of forget how beautiful gardens are in summer, and only memories of the past in pictures and videos reminding us how lovely it is. Okay, so now we are moving to Northern California. And in Northern California, we have a gardener, Marie, who had this beautiful piece of land. It was a well-situated garden, but Marie didn't know what to do with that space. And she asked my advice. I was very happy to give her suggestions. And when you look at the photographs, unfortunately, I don't have the whole view of the whole garden as it was at the beginning. But let me tell you, it was covered with weeds. Weeds were frying on the sun, and Marie didn't know how to envision that spot. Sometimes it is difficult to see something different on the spot. But I said to Marie that she has wonderful fences, very very cozy garden surrounded from all sides by beautiful natural looking fences, which are receding into the into the space, and some of the fences are covered by vines, and mind you, vines don't grow very quickly, so the fact that she has those beautiful coverages is excellent. So I advised Marie to do something with her garden where she can get engaged with it. I advised her to build paths to go around. She didn't have it. And look at her progress, what she did. Really amazing. And this is just the first year Marie installed pathways where she can actually walk and look at plants and enjoy her roses. She installed a center space where there is like a beautiful circular, I guess a spot for her chairs maybe and a table. I'm not sure what she has in mind for that. But it probably serves as a good focal point in her garden. And there's so much work. When I looked at her photographs, I saw so much work she did in her garden. So this year would be marvelous for her because all that space would be covered with plants, and I'm sure Marie will have enormous amount of enjoyment from her gardens this year. Thank you, Marie, for sharing. Marie, by the way, was very patient. She resent me videos several times because we couldn't figure it out. So, Marie, thank you for sharing with us. And the next garden we are going to go to the garden of Jack and Marilyn. And their garden is very young. I remember Marilyn was telling me that they kind of stopped gardening, and then 2 years ago they went into gardening with full gusto, and these are the pictures from their, I would say, baby garden. Let me tell you, the pictures look very mature. They're showing a very good mature garden, maybe thanks to a lot of annuals. Jack and Marilyn are growing in pots. Just look at this inviting space right here. Oh my gosh, you sit in that chair and you can really relax and enjoy all that beautiful space around. And just the fact that you can go outside in the morning and water those pots and deadhead them, take away dead stems and whatnot, makes such a good morning routine. And I'm sure Jack and Marilyn are enjoying their garden immensely. Now let's look at another picture. Look at this flower bed. Doesn't it look well attended and so beautiful? Lovely. You know, I always appreciate when people have vision to put, not to just have a grass all the way to the end of their property and only then start planting. I appreciate when people can put something in the middle of their lawn and it looks so well. Look at this photograph. 2 trees. I'm not sure what trees are those, but they're growing right in the middle of the lawn and it looks so beautiful. It breaks that big space. I must say that my black-eyed Susan vine never made it in my garden. It was so sickish looking, but here, look at this. Near the birdhouse, that vine looks healthy. And the last photographs would be the photographs of roses. Jack and Marilyn, I think Jack is the gardener in that family. I might be mistaken, but they have a lot of roses. And here I just wanted to show you several of them. This is my favorite photograph, very romantic rose. I'm not sure what rose it is. It does look like generous gardener, but it might be not. And look at these beautiful colors. Pink and apricot, what a lovely combination. I like that color combo. And of course, yellow rose. It looks like golden celebration. Again, Jack, correct me if I'm wrong. So this is a lovely tour of your gardens. Thank you again for sharing with us. And you know what? If I would be a doctor, a serious doctor, I know I don't look like a doctor, but if I would be a doctor and people would be coming to me for all sorts of cures against psychological problems, physical ailments, the first thing which I would always prescribe to them would be 1 hour of gardening a day. Maybe 1 hour is too much. Okay, half an hour of gardening. And by all means, the gardener has to enjoy sun and poke around doing, you know, humble things like reading, organizing, planting, replanting, introducing new plants. I truly believe that gardens are healing spaces. And if my patients would tell me I don't like gardening, I would say, forget about curb appeal, forget about chores in the garden. You have to make sure that your garden is your joy, and then you will fall in love with it. And then it will be truly a place for you to relax, rejuvenate, and heal. And that would be a true hobby for you. So here, happy gardening, and I will see you next time.